Alright, academics. Chances are you're probably not the only one struggling. So grab a friend, heck, even a gaggle of friends, possibly at feast, and study until you collectively feel better. There's nothing better than feeling that support during finals time. And if that doesn't work, then it's always better to feel dumb together than dumb alone. True story.
Try not to compare yourself to others because God has His own plan for you that is unique and special.
My academic advice would be to show up to office hours in a class that's really easy, because not a lot of people are going to show up to those, and you can have really meaningful one-on-one conversations with professors.
I think my advice for academics would be lots of office hours, and then also just like having a calendar and to-do list and just keeping track of things. And then also in terms of thinking about it, just remembering that your grades don't define you, and you can just really just try your best, and that's all.
I don't know if I'm the best person to ask about academics because I'm not very on top of studying and all that stuff, but I think remembering that my worth isn't in my grades or my test scores. I failed a lot of tests, believe me, and just knowing that I made it to UCLA, and that already is an academic accomplishment in itself. And yeah, I feel like that gets me through when I don't do as well on things, for sure.
Make friends in your classes. I learned so much from them, and having them there while studying and doing homework was instrumental into doing well in my classes. Definitely couldn't have done it without them there. It would have been much worse.
If you qualify for the Academic Advancement Program, or AAP, I would highly recommend doing it. It's super helpful, a lot of really great resources in Campbell Hall, and a super great community. You can go on my UCLA and check it out. I would highly recommend it.
Something I wish I would have done in undergrad would travel abroad. Please. Obviously, due to COVID, it was cut short, and that was one of the things I was clinging on to. So if you're able to travel abroad, I can direct you with Robert from the UCAP office, and please do it on behalf of us, on behalf of me, okay?
I wish I knew and had more faith that God already has a plan set out for me. I was so scared of not getting that internship, or not getting to the lab, or not getting that good grade. But when I did my best and trusted in the Lord at the same time, He always came through eventually. But I notice He sometimes likes to take His time though.
UCLA has a lot of really fun classes to offer. If you see a class that's interesting and you feel like you can handle the workload, take it. It's super important. College is about exploring your passions, and you won't get this kind of opportunity anywhere outside of UCLA, so do what you love.
These are kind of random, but I wish I had done rock climbing for one at Wooden, and then maybe also more sports or something, like pick up basketball or whatever. That would have been cool.
I wish that I had worked less and played more and rested more.
But I wish I had gone to FalCon my freshman year. I feel like a big part of me not being able to know that many people in my class freshman year was because I didn't go. I didn't go to a lot of other freshman things, and so that's something I really regret. So yeah, go to FalCon your freshman year if you're in IB.
Okay, so as a UCLA student, you have access to the Marina Aquatic Center, and what that means is you can go kayaking for free if you just drive 20 minutes away from campus. So I didn't utilize that as much as I should, so I'm telling you to.
Dating is good. Can I say that? We are relational beings. It's how God made us. And while the Bible doesn't explicitly mention the word dating, it offers tons of relationship advice that we can use and apply to dating, such as valuing others' interests before our own.
I think having an accountability partner is super, super great. It makes reading the Bible a lot easier, and someone, is always there supporting you going through that journey together. I think it's very good to have those kind of relationships. And shout out to you, Val. Thank you so much for holding me accountable this past quarter.
Relationship advice for those who are dating or not dating is embrace your singleness, if you will. Your identity is not in your boo thing, but because at the end of the day, all of us, we search for this thing is to be loved and to be loved by someone. And you already have God. So look, let's talk about soul ties. But anyways, if you want to talk with me about that as someone with experience, just let me know.
For relationship advice, I have to say, just don't be a butt. Make sure you're communicating with your friends or your significant other if you choose to have one. And if you do date somebody, don't let them be your only friend. Keep your friends, make friends with their friends, and keep your life moving forward. Don't make it centered around them.
Advice for relationships would be to put God first. It's easy to put your significant other before God. God should be the first person you think about when you wake up, and the last person you think about before going to sleep, not your significant other. And for those of you who aren't in relationships, my advice would be look for someone who loves God and puts God above all things, because this is how you know that that person will be able to love you.
Relationship advice. Whether it be platonic or romantic, try your best to communicate and be honest. Trust me, it is never a good idea to be passive-aggressive or to hide and ignore your feelings. It's always good to be straight up and be real.
Leaving some things unplanned, leaving some things unknown, allows some space for God to enter in and direct you to something you never would have expected, but something that's ultimately better than anything you could have come up with. So, leave some things unknown.
So God showed up for me in college through my leaders. So there was a point where I was having a lot of trouble at home, and God used Meljon and Ilana to encourage me and remind me that it was God who was fighting my battles.
God has changed my whole outlook on life and on Him for the better. He has constantly reassured me that He has good things in store for me, and I wouldn't want anyone else in control of my life.
I feel like God has really been a provider for me throughout college. I never really feel like I've lacked anything, and I feel like God has always made a way, despite any, challenges.
What I'm taking with me when I go into the real world is how to ask for help and how to fail. It's okay to not be the best.
So there were many times during my undergrad where God opened a door out of nowhere, and I learned how to trust in God constantly, and that is definitely something I will be taking with me forever. That I need to seek God and consult Him in everything that I do.
Something I learned in college that I'll be taking to the real world is that I really learned to value community, to cultivate and to grow it. In my new place, I will be sure to connect with a Bible study group, and I wish to grow with them as well.
Christian living is so important. And in that gray area after college, between getting married, I will most definitely be living with a group of God-fearing guys so that we can help encourage one another and keep each other accountable in our walks with God.
Something that I've learned in college that I'm taking with me is not be afraid to take chances. So you just go do something spontaneous, just out of the blue. I think that some of those experiences are the best that I've ever had, and it's just fun to not know what's going to happen sometimes, and just trusting that it's going to be an experience to remember, or God is going to show me something in this that I didn't expect. So,
and I dedicate to you all Psalms 139, and it talks about identity. You know how we seek those love letters, from other people, yada yada. No, this is a love letter crafted for you. May you be blessed, God bless you, and may your voyage be blessed. I love you, family. Bye.
Boom, look at that. Killed it. I killed it. Derek cut before I start dancing, but I killed it. Boom.